Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Marvel Rivals Championship game. And today, we have the double elimination bracket. It has started. We are through the open qualifiers. We are now into the actual bracket. And we're starting off with one of the teams that was at the European, Middle East and Africa Invitational. And we have Team Peps versus Bombadil. We are now into the best of threes. And we're starting off on Bearded T'Challa. Hela and Wolverine will be the first characters to get removed here. Magneto getting protected. Magneto has soared in priority when it comes to Season 1 compared to Season 0. Now, what do we see from Bombadil as they're protected? Team Peps, they were in the Invitational. They were the first and one of two teams to take a map off of Virtus Pro. Virtus Pro still yet to lose a map in an actual official MRC format. But in the Invitational, they lost quite a few maps against only two teams. Peps and OG. So Peps, they have that stand behind them. Bombadil we know very little about, as they are going to secure the board and ban out Rocket. The Rocket leaping up in priority. And Luna Snow taken out as well. That burst healing, even with the nerfs to their heals, to that Fate of Both Worlds ultimate. Luna's still very, very tough. Another character who's basically in every game now, Invisible Woman and the Winter Soldier, currently being hovered by Bombadil. And Hardest looking to do the same. Let's see how this goes as we are getting set up for game number 1 of this best of 3 series. Team Peps and Bombadil. Let's start introducing our players. This will be interesting if this is what they're committing to. Ladies and gentlemen, on the left-hand side, it is Team Peps. With Leaf going to be on the Winter Soldier. Switch playing the Invisible Woman. Teemo is on the Groot. Natlox bringing out the Loki. Shu will be bringing out Doctor Strange. And Hardest is playing the Star-Lord. They're going for a couple swaps. We'll see what they actually finish up playing when the rollout begins. On the right-hand side, in the red trunks, it is Bombadil with Shaq Not Sweat playing the Namor. Obo on the Loki. Greedy Smurf on Doctor Strange. Matsi playing the Invisible Woman. Einfulslos, best way I can pronounce that, best guess, on the Groot. And Mason will be playing Winter Soldier. They're trying to push their way in. Looks like Hardest went for the Star-Lord here. Not going for the Storm or the Human Torch that we saw there for a moment. Leaf, though, they've trapped them in the spawn gate. With the wraparound, they were able to roll out so quickly. And Peps trapping Bombadil away, and they will claim the first point. Taking control, healing output, looking very effective right now, not having to worry too much. They seem to have this pretty well zoned. You see the wraparound coming in. Bombadil going for the high ground here to try and make their way onto the point. Shaq Not Sweat leading the way. Blaster Mirage coming in from Hardest, but Hardest already gone. Shots coming in. Natlox up on the high ground. Sending in the hits. Pushing in. Lots of damage coming in. Once again, Hardest playing hyper-aggressive right now. Here comes the Galactic Legend Groovil to trap him away from anywhere they could retreat to. And it's an absolute massacre. Gets pulled in by the Bionic Hook, and they will get the pickup. But Marson was literally the only person left there, and they will get taken out. Lovely Bionic Hook for the counter. But beautiful walls by Teemo to isolate the team, give them the angle they need to re-engage. shut down the push and trap the enemies away from places to retreat. Look at these group walls on the ceiling, so that anyone runs through, they'll get hit by the AoE walls and they won't be a priority target. However, it's a low ground assault that we are seeing from the members of Bombadil, trying to make their way onto the point. Horde of Proteus at the ready as the Invisible Boundary and Kraken Impact. Switch goes down, as does Hardest. Here comes Kraken Impact from Marson, who is barely standing right now, can't find another reset. Pulled in with a beautiful group straggling prison, but the Invisible Boundary shutting it down, and Bombadil cleaning Peps off the point here. Nicely done, Matsy, with the reaction time there. Instantly dropping that Invisible Boundary, keeping the team up, and they are able to survive through the Kraken Impact and claim the point for themselves at 91% for Peps. Bombadil just starting to get some points on the board. Trying to keep the team topped up. No ultimates available for Team Peps. It's all Bombadil right now, as they do have that straggling prison. Isolating Shu away from the team with the group rule, straggling prison, but onto a Loki, and the Wolves have isolated the rest of their own team away, and they're going to be forced to back up a bit there, taking out the Loki clones. They're also doing the same strategy. Wolves up on the roof, so that if they try to engage, they will get picked off here. Team Peps waiting, you can see, being very patient, waiting for the regroup, waiting for Shu. They make their way in. Groot arriving back, pulled in with the bionic hook, but the group wall blocks any follow-up. Soldier's Fist holding the line for the moment. Loki with the Invisible Boundary clone to keep the team pushing in, but Marson is already down. Eisenfall trying to hold it, straggling prison and the Invisible Boundary counter, and Peps are starting to push on through. They've taken 2, looking for 3, make it 3 as Shu picks it up. Peps Teemo with the isolation, trapping the team away from the point, gets on it, and they are starting to work their way through the groups. And Team Peps are back on the point, 95, 96. Shaq's Nut Sweat goes down, and that's going to be point number 1. Hurled with overtime, thanks to the portal of Greedy Smurf. Matsy trying to keep them healed up as they push on in. They got to keep bodies on the point, though, as they're trying to make their way through. Group wall to shut it down, to prevent them from getting through the portal, meaning the Greedy Smurf is dropping so low. Overtime ticking down as we're seeing the push coming in. Down goes Greedy Smurf. Shaq Nut Sweat nowhere near. Masar nowhere near. The portal is gone, and point number 1 goes over to Peps. An intense game number 1 there. Bombadil not going down without a fight, but Peps taking control. The Patience waiting for the regroup. Literally just standing around the corner to regroup and make their way in as one. And now look at who is available here. What are the ultimates that each team has? We have the Kraken Impact at the ready.
30 seconds before you attack.
Loki with the God of Mischief. Natlocks at the ready with that Meteor M for Shu. Prepared for big blow-up plays. On the other side, Bombadil has the Horde of Proteus. And Greedy Smurf has the Eye of Agamotto.
Sorcery and deception always defeat the clenched.
A little bit more of a passive positioning setup by Bombadil with the Namora to give them a little bit more positioning advantage. Whereas Team Peps, they rolled in with that Star-Lord, which they are still going to stick with, just doing the speed boost to get their team onto the point as fast as possible. The Star-Lord giving them more flank potential, as opposed to the Namora's classic standard, just damage as fast as possible. Trying to take out a Loki clone, will do so. Greedy Smurf trying to push their way forward. They have that Eye of Agamotto. As we called out here, taking a little bit of damage from the Star-Lord. Bionic Hook pulls Iron Falsos into the area. Shu with the Meteor M directly into the shield. Gets pulled in with the Bionic Hook. Shield goes down. Trying to keep them up as they turn all the attention onto Groot, finishing them off, but are dropped extremely low as Namor is trying to finish the jump. Invisible Boundary shut down. The Invisible Woman is taken out by Hardest. Nalox also dropping a counter Invisible Boundary with the clone from the God of Mischief. And once again, Team Peps will take control of the point. looking very nice right now. Still, the ultimate's available for Bombadil. Hobo with that invisible boundary, God of Mischief clone. Quite a bit left until their own ultimate is available. But the original Matsi with their own invisible boundary is available. Could try and push their way in here. Shield getting burst down, but they're still going to try and make it happen. Psionic Vortex zoning little bits here and there, trying to keep the team topped up, pushing onto the point. Here comes the Galactic Legend from Hardest. Invisible boundary to try and shut it down. Nicely done. Hardest getting basically nothing from that ultimate. Aya Magamoto coming in. Finds basically no one. Horde of Proteus to follow up as Leaf takes out Marson. Hardest on the flank. The invisible boundary making no value being gained by Bombadil right now. They've only been able to find Leaf. Marson swapping over to a Starlord themselves. That is a beautiful straggling prison, but invisible boundary with the clone from Obo allows them to survive through that engage. And Peps, they're sustaining through, keeping the point. Even though they don't have a lot of bodies on the point, they're delaying and holding for the moment. Teemo dropping low, as is Greedy Smurf. No ultimates available for Bombadil right now, whereas Peps have two. Natlox with the clone. Ready for the opportunity for invisible boundary. Will drop that to let them sustain through, focus down, and try and clean them off the point. Meteor M allowing Switch to pick up Ein Full Souls. I'll never pronounce that name right. Greedy Smurf falls. They chase them down. And finally, Shaq's Nut Sweat goes down. Overtime, 99%. Currently nothing grabbed by Bombadil. Down goes the Loki. Walls to punish anyone who uses them for cover. Invisible boundary. And that is going to be game number 1. Going over to Peps. Nicely done, Peps. Switch going to be taking MVP there on that invisible woman. The Malice. That's new. Haven't seen that before, but cool. We got new screens, everybody. This is brand new to me. All right, let's have a look at some of these statistics. We still don't have a way to look at the MVP, at the play of the game stuff, unfortunately. One day that may be implemented. Let's have a look here. Quite a low elimination game here, but still not half bad. Most eliminations, 24 for Teemo. Doing huge work for their team there. Only getting taken out once as well. Tied lowest in the game with Natlox and Switch. While getting 8 final hits. Tied with Hardest as well. And getting the most damage. 14k. Out damaging both Leaf and Hardest there. 2k more. Huge work being done by Teemo here. Damage blocked, 22k. Third highest in the game, ahead of Shu, but behind Greedy Smurf with 27k and Ein Folslos. I'm still pronouncing it wrong, with 31k. We're going to call them Einfol. Einfols is going to be the easier way for us to pronounce that in the future. And top healing. 23k from Obo. Nicely done. Just beating out Switch with 19k, but Switch 15 and 1, 23 assists, 2 final hits, 4k damage, higher than both the enemy strategists, and also 4,000 damage blocked as well. Not bad, utilizing that shield. A little bit less than Masty with their, excuse me, with their own invisible woman with almost 10k. But still, job well done. That's going to be game number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of 3, meaning there is still a chance for Bombadil to make their way back in here. But Team Peps hold the lead at 1-0. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break. And in that break, might I request that you subscribe? We are up to 14% of my viewers who watch this channel are subscribed. So it would be really helpful if you did. We're currently approaching 5k subs, which would be huge for me, considering I started doing Marvel Rivals content at about 3k. So if we can hit that, that would be incredible, and I would be extremely grateful. I would also be grateful if you hit the like button, rang that bell so you see when these games go live. Leave a comment, help with the algorithm, make it so these videos are pushed out to more people. That would be wonderful. Would be very appreciated. And of course, if you extra enjoy, you can become a member like John, where you can get these videos up to 24 hours early, sometimes even more, because I pre-record a lot of these videos sometimes, and if I'm out and not able to upload them on the actual day they are meant to come out, then the day before they're meant to come out, then sometimes I upload quite a few and leave them on members only. So sometimes you'll get 2, sometimes even 3 games early. We're doing as many of the PC games as we can before moving on to console. But once again, you can find out all of that by subbing, becoming a member, liking, commenting, ringing that bell, all the classic stuff. I think I've done enough shilling for the moment. Let's get ourselves ready for map number 2.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I got all this potential that's deep inside of me, but they hate when you're successful cause they try to be. They sit there being judgmental because you're trying things, and they just want you to settle and do the right thing. So get a good job, don't slack off. Wake up every morning, make a good impression on your boss. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, and when you're making money, make sure you don't spend it too soon.
Welcome back to this round 1 game in the Marvel Rivals Championship. We're past the open qualifiers and we are into the double elimination bracket. So even if a team loses here, they still have a chance to fight their way through to that final grand finals and potentially win it all. It's a tough road, but it is possible. And right now, Team Peps looking to avoid that fate as they are 1-0 up in this best of 3. Bombadil looking to try and turn it round. We're going for another domination game as these bans and saves looking pretty similar right now. But Luna Snow going to be protected this time instead of Namor by Bombadil. But Wolverine and Hela both going to be taken away, as is Venom. Different choice this time. A little bit of dive potential going to be taken away, and Namor this time will be banned away. Let's see if we get many different choices. We do, of course, see the Luna Snow immediately showing up. Switch and Oboe going to be the ones doing that. Switch moving off of the Invisible Woman onto that Luna Snow, meaning Natlox is currently going with the Loki. So they are just abandoning the Invisible Woman entirely. Very interesting. Quite a lot of damage dealer rotations coming in for the members of Peps. We'll see what they lock in for certain. Magneto going to be secured by Greedy Smurf this time. Not going for that Doctor Strange this time. Seeing how well the Magneto went in the last game for Team Peps. They're going to copy it out this time. Rocket also made it through the ban phase, and currently Natlox is going to be hovering that. This might just be for Rocket's Packed Lunch. You can already see there is a BRB down on the ground, and everyone is starting to get shielded up. Leaf potentially going to be giving the team a bubble-based speed boost to get them out of spawn. And Natlox going to be swapping back to Loki now that everyone is shielded up. And no bubble speed boost because they're just going to portal in. Shu swapping it out for the Doctor Strange this time. Team swapping their main tanks. High ground going to be locked down by Peps. No response from Bombadil. Heading in. Head first on the stairs. Going to try and make their way onto the point. Brute Walls making it a little harder to attack there, but down goes Einfalls. Greedy Smurf trying to turn onto it. The Loki protection, the healing from that regeneration domain, not allowing them to capitalize here. As Greedy Smurf is getting ambushed from behind, taken down. Now goes Marson, and Einfalls returning to a team that is no longer there, as Team Peps will take control of the point and begin to rush in to try and zone out the members of Bombadil and keep them off the point as that percentage begins to climb. Root walls on the ceiling above the entrance point. If they can find them further back, they're going to get a huge amount of damage here. Also gives opportunities to try and capitalize. On this room, not so much, but on that other room, they could have potentially capitalized by having Strange go up onto the high ground once that Eye of Agamotto was out the ready. Bionic blocked by the Sephiroth barrier of Shu, doing huge damage, but taking a lot as well. Regeneration Domain has to be dropped to allow them to push on through. Straggling Prison onto the backline. Shu takes out Masty. Greedy Smurf goes down, and it's another absolute massacre as Bombadil are forced off the point again. Haven't really been able to even touch the point. They're just getting picked off in every flank location. What else do they have? What can they do here? Hardest on the flank, spots Marson. Goes for the duel. Getting a little bit of healing. Not enough, though. Will be forced to back up and get to their healers. Leaf doing big damage output as Hardest takes to the sky. Galactic Legend onto Ironfall. Not finding enough damage to finish anyone off here. Finds Marson. Trying to chase them down. Good dodge. Marson getting out of there. Blaster Barrage does not connect. Leaf and Shaq Nut Sweat both looking for their opportunity to strike with the Kraken Impact to try and capitalize. Shaq Nut Sweat will be the first to blink onto Groove, but that's the fate of both worlds. Popped basically immediately to tank on through. Galactic Legend from Marson finds Hardest to try and counter out. Eye of Agamotto from Shu, but Leaf has fallen, and Bombadil, despite being stunned out, have everyone up right now, and with the invisible boundary, they are going to smash through Peps. And they will sustain. Bombadil on the point once again at 99%. They are holding. Bombadil taking control, taking out any cover that can be utilized by Peps, trying to do what they did, zone them off the point, keep control. A little bit of shielding from the Invisible Woman. Good damage output. You can see just how powerful Magneto can actually be in these tight enclosed areas when the team is grouped up. A lot of damage being dealt here. Blaster Barrage. Hardest will fall there to Masson. An aggressive dive, but worked out beautifully. Regeneration Domain even dropped. Leaf taking shots down range, trying to find any easy targets. Does have, if they need it, that Kraken Impact. Big damage. Trying to get onto Masson. Will take them down. Focus onto the backline as the point is being rushed down right now. That's a Kraken Impact. First reset is acquired as Leaf gets absolutely juggled, but the job is done. Soldier's Fist to try and finish him off, which they will get, almost getting trapped down. Kraken Impact to get back on the point, and with no one up, Marson is trying to rush in to hold over time, but they can't reach in time. And Peps take round 1 of game 2. Control for Team Peps. And Bombadil. They gotta find some reserves. They're taking the points. They're winning fights. They're getting picks even. But something is missing. Rocket's Pack Lunch gonna be sent out. A little bit of shielding, and then the swap for Natlong's likely back to that Loki. Teemo going to be holding down that front line once again with Shu. This combo working very well. They've ditched them at the Doctor Strange, though. Shu back on the Magneto. Ooh, Jetpack Groot. Okay, okay. I am intrigued. Very interesting. Let's see what they do with this. Not picking up any armor, though. Very interesting. Hardest. Going to be the first one to reach the point. Marson from above, doing a little bit of damage, nothing permanent, but a small poke. Hardest trading above their opponents right now. Galactic Legend right away. Counter coming out from Marson to try and take him down, but Hardest wins the duel and forces them back into the doorway. Group walls you can see on the roofs, making it very difficult for anyone to step safely through this entranceway without taking a lot of damage. Trying to force the issue. trying to bounce onto it. The Psionic Vortexes were zoning, an invisible boundary will allow them to try and push out of the invisibility. Comes Shaq Nutsweat, but not finding any reset. Great bionic hook, but that's going to set them up for a beautiful strangling prison. But they still tag through with the fate of both worlds from Oboe, pushing their way onto the point. Meteor M from Shu directly onto Oboe to shut him down, and Massan is taken out as well. Shu is on fire right now. The group walls trying to prevent the escape, but they will also prevent the chase, as Einfalls will be able to counteract, but it's not going to stop the hypermobile hardest, diving deep, dodging the bionic hook. Vortex comes out to slow him down, but they will not find an elimination this day. Einfalls, the last to fall. Peps once again have control of the point, 54%. Bombadil yet to take control. Leaf. Looking to try to land a bionic hook, was not able to find it. Sending out the damage. Take the shot, will be blocked. Hardest taking to the sky with the Galactic Legend. But once again, an invisible boundary coming out. Regeneration Domain will shut down Meteor M, meaning they will find nothing as Natlox goes for the copy onto Lunar Snow. A fate of both worlds now at the ready, but it's not really needed because Bombadil are already getting forced back, but they're still going to make the most of it. They're going to capitalize using the damage version to chase back Bombadil into the spawn, to rush down Magneto, to finish them off and stop them from getting on the point, to prevent overtime. Overtime will be popped, but it might be too late as Massan takes to the sky with the Galactic Legend, trying to rush the point to prevent the overtime from going down. Groot with the strangling prison does not matter. And Peps take the 2-0 without dropping a single round. Nicely done, Team Peps. Natlox taking MVP on that Loki. Well done, Team Peps. MVP to Natlox, the strategist, getting a lot of attention this time. Most eliminations gonna be once again Teemo with 19 eliminations, only 5 of which this time though are final hits. Most final hits will go over to Leaf with 9. Top damage. It's closer this time. It's a lot closer, but still, Teemo takes it. 11k damage. And 26k damage blocked, actually. Beats out both Einfalls and Greedy Smurf. Neither one able to keep up with that Groot damage absorption while still only getting taken out once. Tied least with Shu, Natlox, and Switch. Once again, the strategists only getting taken out once each. Top assists, Natlox 23, definitely giving them that huge boost. And top healing, 19k. Switch this time. Able to push on through. Natlox beating out Oboe, but losing it to Basti, who will take the second highest healing output with 15k. 4k less than Switch, who just put on such a performance this time. Only 1k damage, barely almost 2. Just super focused on just doing as much healing as possible that game, and it worked out. And that's it. That's our first round 1 game, ladies and gentlemen. We have plenty of rounds to go. I believe it's round 12, and then we get into like the actual like finals, quarterfinals stuff. So we got plenty of rounds to go through. Upper and lower elimination rounds, but this is the ignition round. We're just getting started. We have plenty of games, and as they go on, they're going to get closer and closer. So remember, subscribe. Leave a comment saying what teams you are looking forward to. Who are you supporting? Who are your favourite characters? Should Team Peps have actually picked that Storm and Johnny Storm, the the Human Torch and Storm at the same time, like they were hovering for fun? Leave a comment if you believe that was the case. But for now, I have been Tetcher. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, if you're watching with adblock on, please consider turning it off for these videos and then turning it back on, because that's how I make money. I haven't got any sponsors at the moment. I am not paid by Marvel Rivals or NetEase. I do this because I love it. Hope to one day work with them, but until then, until they actually know who I am and know there's any demand at all for me to do any work for them, then I just have to keep plugging away and having fun. So yeah, support me that way, or by becoming a member, or by hitting that thanks button to send a little bit of support your humble casters' way. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.